Two brothers wanted for assault. Meanwhile, Sarawak and Sweden set to establish strategic WTE cooperation. And in world news, a man stranded on desolate island rescued. These are the headlines for tonight. Good evening. You're now with me, Handigui, and this is TVS Nightline. A 64-year-old man stranded on a barren island for 3 days in the Bahamas has been rescued. The U.S. Coast Guard USCG said the man had been firing flares from Casal after his boat ran aground. Aerial photos released by the Coast Guard show that the man, whose name wasn't released, has etched the letters SOS in the island's sandy beach. Upon discovery, the crew then dropped food, water and a radio to communicate with the man who told them about his ordeal. He was then retrieved and transferred to the Royal Bahamas Defense Force in good health. The Sarawak government is set to ink a strategic partnership with the Swedish government in managing waste-to-energy WTE system in the state. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg noted that the state is keen on emulating Sweden's advanced WTE system, which has been proven to be more efficient than other European countries.
WTE is the process of generating energy in the form of electricity and/or heat from the primary treatment of waste or the processing of waste into a fuel source. Abang Johari said it was time for Sarawak to strengthen its solid management system through WTE to ensure the well-being of its people in the future. Additionally, the Premier had also expressed his interest in Sweden's cross-border power grid, which allows the country to export electricity to neighboring countries such as Denmark, Norway, Finland and Poland. A similar scenario he envisioned for Sarawak in the near future by exporting electricity to Kalimantan, Indonesia. Earlier, Abang Johari also paid a courtesy call on Sweden's Minister of Trade and Development, Johan Forsell.
Two brothers are wanted by the police as they are believed to be involved in an assault case that took place on Monday, August 21st. They are identified as Afidi alias Adi Jasmani, age 34, and Suhaimi alias Pimping Jamani, age 28. In a statement, Acting Padawan Police Chief, Deputy Superintendent of Police Lim Jiao Shong said both of the accused seriously injured a 30-year-old man at 1 a.m. at a premise in Matang. The attack went viral on social media, where the attackers were seen assaulting the man with weapons, allegedly over that. The video has since been taken down. 5 men have been arrested in connection with the incident. Those with information on the brothers' whereabouts are urged to contact the head of Padawan Criminal Investigation Division, ASP Silvarius Gopak, or Investigating Officer Inspector Nyaum Ringkai via the numbers shown on screen. Acting Head of State Tan Sri Dato' Amar Muhammad Asfia Awang Nassar is set to grace the Sarawak Level National Day celebration in Mukah on August 30th to 31st. The matter was confirmed by the State Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister, Dato' Sri Fatima Abdullah, during a courtesy visit to the Acting Governor on Wednesday.
Alhamdulillah, insyaAllah beliau akan bersama dengan amat berbahagia Puan Sri Datuk Haji Fatimah binti Haji Muhammad Iskandar akan hadir pada hari tersebut. Ya, begitu juga dengan yang amat berhormat Premier kita dan juga yang amat berbahagia Puan Sri Datuk Amar Datin Patinggi Haji Jumani.
She added, other events in the program will include the Unity Ride and Walk at Dataran Pehin Setiaraja on the morning of August 31st, followed by Tekad Perpaduan Penuhi Harapan at the Santex Mukah Multipurpose Hall in the evening. Other organizing committee members present for the courtesy call include Deputy Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Dato' Gerald Rentab Jabu, Sarawak Protocol, Ceremonies and Event Management Unit Director, Dato' Mohammed Junaidi Mohidin, and Muka resident Kueh Leipoh. Kuchingites have expressed their readiness to transition from fuel-powered vehicles to those that run on renewable energy, such as electric and hydrogen. Though only a small number of these vehicles can be seen on the streets of Kuching. So long as the prices of electric vehicles continue to go down, more people will transition due to its positive impact on the environment. However, if widespread adoption of EVs is to be achieved, the state must have adequate support infrastructure, such as charging stations and skilled electric automotive technicians to address the day-to-day issues related to EVs.
Mungkin kalau semua depend on cost lah.
Okay.
Itu saja.
So depend
Cost dengan facilities lah. Facilities macam adakah workshop, adakah apa yang yang bersedia untuk kereta ya. Sebabnya something new kan.
Boleh ada di Kuching Sarawak tu. Boleh lah kami coba pakai benda ya, pakai elektrik pun. InsyaAllah kita ada kerajaan Sarawak ada beri bantuan pakai elektrik pun boleh.
Presently, there are 35 EV charging stations across the state. Sarawak Energy Berhad SEB is currently doubling its effort to increase the total number to 100 charging stations along the Pan-Borneo Highway by this year. By 2025, Sarawak should have a total of 200 EV charging stations statewide.
Lebih baik menggunakan kenderaan elektrik sebab perjalanannya pun dalam 200 lebih kilometer untuk satu sekali cas lah. Okey, lebih kurang macam ni lah dapat untuk pakai satu hari lah untuk pakai bawa penumpang daripada airport ke Kuching ni. Menggunakan kenderaan elektrik lebih jimat lagi lah untuk ya.
Lebih bagus untuk alam sekitar ke?
Lebih bagus untuk alam sekitar lah. Untuk pemandu teksi lebih selesa untuk pelancong-pelancong datang daripada luar negara, datang ke Sarawak menaikkan kenderaan pengangkutan awam.
Now, the state's very own autonomous rail transit art prototype Bulan has initiated its first trial run today, making its round on roads surrounding the Borneo Convention Centre Kuching BCCK. This trial will be one of the earlier phases of a whole month of testing before it undergoes a thorough engineering run in September. Each carriage would be able to hold a capacity of 100 passengers. The trial run today was conducted in a controlled environment involving traffic officers from Sarawak Metro and the police. Earlier on Monday, Transport Minister Dato' Sri Lee Kim Shin in a statement said Bulan will undergo engineering exercises from September 4th until October 31st. The route will span Jalan Kuring surrounding the LCDA Tower, SEDC Tower, Sarawak Energy Tower and BCCK. Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Suraban Johari Tunopeng is scheduled to grace the trial run early next month, riding it throughout Jalan Isthmus. Bulan arrived at the Senari terminal on August 5th and is scheduled to be operational by the fourth quarter of 2025. Its initial route will start from Rembus Kota Semarahan to Hikmah Exchange located at Kuching City Centre. The fourth edition of Sarawak AgriFest 2023 is expected to attract more than 100,000 visitors from all across the country. State Minister of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development, Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, revealed that this year's edition will be held at Celebration Square, Petrajaya.
The expected number of crowd around 100,000. So within that 10 days, and can be from local and so all throughout Sarawak, and even outside Sarawak and so on. So 200 over exhibitors will exhibit there. We have the booths for them and so on. That exhibitor will show us the latest the technology that can be shared with the farmers.
Theme: Industrializing for Sustainable Food Security and Commodities. Rundi said the biggest agricultural festival in Sarawak is based on the three main pillars of sustainability, which include social inclusion, economic prosperity, and environmental sustainability, in line with Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy, PCDS 2030.
To make sure that whatever we endeavor in agribusiness, agro activities, to make sure that it's no longer something that you can just take it as a self-consumption or just day-to-day routine. It's going to be industry. That means we are looking at rate of return, what we invest in. So the only way for us to industrialize, we have to adopt new technology, modernization, and so on.
He said this at a press conference held at Wisma Bapa, Malaysia earlier today. The launching ceremony of the 2023 Sarawak AgroFest is expected to be officiated by Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. Various programs will be held such as AgroTrade, AgroTech, AgroFresh, Agro Input, Smart Farming, Vet Zoo, Sarawak Kitchen and Pavilion. Visitors will also be entertained with performances from local artists, Bermukun performance, lucky draw, kuching shows, horse riding activities, and more. For more information on Sarawak AgroFest 2023, head on to the official AgroFest website and social media as follows. In a heartwarming initiative, several organizations have come together to provide prosthetic limbs to those in need, bringing renewed hope and mobility. Satok Assemblyman Dato' Ibrahim Baki said these prosthetic limbs are not merely physical aids, but life-changing devices, offering recipients the chance to regain their independence and pursue their dreams. The Satok Assemblyman expressed gratitude to the collaborative efforts of the organizations, namely the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Malaysia, Tuna Daksa Care Foundation, Sadhu Vaswani Center Jakarta, Chihui Kor Kuching, and Minya Shangge Jakarta. He disclosed that this initiative is set to benefit a total of 120 individuals.
They have a lot of spare allocation for Sarawak. So they have invited again for the second round, phase 2, not only from Satok area, but the whole of Kuching and the surrounding area. Yeah? So that everybody can have this artificial limb. Yeah? Then they can work like a proper human being.
He said this during the handing over ceremony at Anak Seni Multipurpose Hall at Kampong Bandrasah on Wednesday. Meanwhile, he said this initiative will be expanded further into the central and northern areas of Sarawak, and those in need may contact the numbers shown. The King of the River, or the winner of the upcoming Simunjan Regatta, held in conjunction with Simunjan Festival, will bring home 20,000 ringgit. Simunjan Assemblyman Aula Idris said the festival will take place from September 17th to 24th.
According to Aula, the much-anticipated activities during the festival will include the Parahu Balo race to be held on the last 3 days of the Simunjan Festival. Apart from that, he said other exciting competitions will also be held, such as the legendary cake and baked rice making competition, Sayang Simunjan video competition, Simunjan futsal and esports tournaments, and many more. The festival will also be enlivened with the presence of high-powered motorcycle enthusiasts who will be spending their nights in Simunjan.
We'll be taking a short break. Coming up next, the King is set to participate in Pan-Borneo Highway trip, and in world news, India to make history with first South Pole moon landing. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria will be participating in the Kembara Kenali Borneo road trip from Sabah to Sarawak. According to sources from the Istana Negara, the 11-day journey will kick off from Tawau, Sabah on September 3rd until the convoy reaches the border of Sarawak on September 6. The trip will then proceed through Sarawak on September 7 to its conclusion at Telok Melano, Lundu on September 13. With this, His Majesty's journey will pass through the Pan-Borneo Highway in both states, covering a distance of 2,154 kilometers. The Perdana Fellow Program gives exposure to youth to not only gain an understanding of the workings of leadership, but also government work culture and policies. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the fellows were selected based on their excellent performances to prepare them for possible leadership roles in the future.
Tapi lebih penting hala kerja, tradisi dan budaya di dalam kerajaan, serta pendedahan ini akan memberikan mereka ruang untuk lebih memahami dasar-dasar, dan saya percaya akan dapat menimba pengetahuan dan pengalaman yang sangat penting. Sekali lagi saya ucap terima kasih dan mendoakan kepada Allah SWT mudah-mudahan program ini yang dipilih khas di kalangan anak-anak dengan prestasi yang baik dan cemerlang untuk mendapat pendedahan dapat dimanfaatkan dengan sebaiknya untuk persiapan bagi pimpinan masa akan datang.
Coordinated by the Youth and Sports Ministry, the program features 56 fellows who are attached to various government ministries from today until December 31st, 2023. In a statement, KBS said the 56 fellows had undergone an orientation program from August 20th to 22nd at the Institute SARAWAK Felda in Bangi. A total of 763 fellows have participated in the program since it was first introduced in 2013. Private companies are urged to fly the Jalur Gemilang at their premises to fuel the 2023 National Day and Malaysia Day HKHM 2023 celebrations. Deputy Minister of Communications and Digital Teo Ni Ching said by doing so, it could also help to fuel the spirit of patriotism among Malaysians ahead of the National Day and Malaysian Day celebrations.
Tapi memang saya mengalu-alukan bahawa pihak swasta jugalah bolehlah bantu kita. Kalau bukan edaran Jalur Gemilang, tetapi sekurang-kurangnya boleh pasang Jalur Gemilang di tempat kerja, tempat swasta dan sebagainya, supaya kita rakyat Malaysia bolehlah mula rasai bahawa suasana kita untuklah menyambut Hari Kebangsaan tahun 2023 ini.
She told this to reporters after the Jalur Gemilang distribution program at Kuala Lumpur Central today. At the same event, Teo also placed independence badges on several officers or frontliners of the Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad KTMB and Rapid KL. Now on to the next update. A former convict who was released from prison just 2 months ago was charged in the Sessions Court with the attempted rape of an elderly woman and armed robbery. 32-year-old S. Saaran claimed trial to all charges read before Judge Nabisha Ibrahim.
On the first charge, he is accused of attempting to rape a 75-year-old senior citizen in the living room of a house at Taman Asam Maju about 8:30 a.m. on August 15th. The offense under Section 376(1) of the Penal Code carries a jail term of up to 20 years and whipping upon conviction. On the second charge, Saran, armed with a knife, allegedly robbed the same woman of 10 ringgit and a gold necklace, causing injury at the same place, time and date. The offense under Section 394 of the Penal Code provides for a jail term of up to 20 years and whipping upon conviction. Meanwhile, on the third charge, Saran allegedly robbed the elderly woman's 55-year-old son-in-law of 5,000 ringgit and a Honda car at the same place, time and date. The offense, under Section 392 of the Penal Code, carries up to 14 years in jail and whipping or fine upon conviction. Nabisha set bail at 38,000 ringgit for all charges with one surety and ordered the accused to stay away from the victim and witnesses in the case. During mitigation, Saran pleaded for a lower bail as he was unemployed and had just got out of prison 2 months ago. The case is set for mention on September 25.
Onto some global affairs. India is set to make history by becoming the first nation to land a spacecraft on the south pole of the moon. The Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is scheduled to land on the lunar south pole just after 6 p.m. local time on Wednesday.
The success of Chandrayaan-3 will make it the first to land on the lunar South Pole, a region whose shadowed craters are thought to contain water ice that could support a future moon settlement. According to Managing Director of London-based Space Tech Partners, Carla Filotico, on top of demonstrating its space technology capabilities, India's latest attempt for the moon landing following a failure in 2019 would boost its nascent space industry.
It's important for global recognition as well. In fact, it's because India will be amongst the very few nations which were able to land on the moon. As you are well aware, only US, as well as Russia and China were able to land on the moon. So India will be the fourth country to land on the moon, but also the very first one to land on the South Pole. So national pride as well as inspiration for future generation is also very important.
If the mission is successful, India will elevate itself to a selected group of nations that have achieved the momentous feat of soft lunar landings.
More than 1 million metric tons of treated radioactive water will be released on Thursday, August 24, from the plant operated by Tokyo Electric Power Company TEPCO. The plan has been heavily criticized by China and local fishing groups that fear the reputational damage would destroy their livelihoods.
The UN nuclear watchdog, the International Atomic Energy Agency, green-lighted the plan in July, saying that it met international standards and that the impact it would have on people and the environment was negligible. Although Japan has said that the water release is safe, however, such situation has raised worrisome among Tokyo residents.
心配事はやっぱありますね。だからやっぱあるんで本当に放水するんであれば、本当にどういう根拠で影響が出ないのか、そこはちょっと知りたいところはあります。やっぱり日本ブランドとあと近海の皆さんの漁獲量のことを考えると、そんなに日本人はあんまり気にしないんじゃないかなとは思ってはいるんですけど、ただやっぱり周りの国だったりとか地域住民の方々にはもうちょっと配慮した方が良かったんじゃないかなと思います。
Now wrapping up the Nightline, Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra was moved from his jail cell to a hospital early Wednesday morning over health concerns after the 74-year-old's first night in jail following his historic return from self-exile. In a statement, Thai's Corrections Department said Thaksin had felt chest tightness and high blood pressure and was referred to Bangkok's police hospital at around 2 a.m. local time.
Police said the billionaire founder of the Pheu Thai party was hospitalized because the prison was unable to guarantee he would get the right care. Thaksin's condition was not immediately clear on Wednesday, and his representatives did not respond for comment. The day before saw dramatic scenes that would have seemed very unlikely as Thaksin returned to the country 17 years after he was ousted by a military coup and was promptly escorted to jail. The Supreme Court confirmed the same day that Thaksin would have to serve 8 years in prison after convictions for abuse of power and conflicts of interest. The display overshadowed his political ally Shreta Thavisin's election as Prime Minister by parliamentary vote later in the day. The return of Thailand's most famous politician, along with Shreta's surprisingly smooth ascent to the premiership, is expected to heighten speculation that Thaksin struck a deal with his foes, ensuring his safe return and a possible early release from jail, though both Thaksin and Pheu Thai have denied such claims.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time for TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching and have a good night.